Hey everybody, how are we all doing? Um, yeah, there's not many people here. Justin just said notification went out. That's good. Um, yeah, how you doing? Have you had a good week? Um, I've I've had an okay week. I am particularly glad just now because it's Thursday. I'm finished for not just the weekend, but I'm off work next week. So I'm finished for a week. Not back at work until the 23rd. So happy days. Hi to Simon from the Hermit's Cave. Hola to Justin. Uh, a hi to Orla. Hey Orla, how you doing? And I've got the very lovely Mr. Gerald from Tarot Stash as well. Hey, how are you as well? Um, I need to get more, but I need to start getting guests on again, don't I? Like I need to have people on with me every now and then, rather than me just sitting here and talking shite for 2 hours. Um, I'm going to. I think I'll start doing that. I'll every now and then I'll nudge one of my pals and say, "Do you want to? Do you want to come on? Do you want to come live with me?" Um, yeah, but just sitting here playing with my tarot and watching CKM. That's weird. Oh, my picture has froze. Can you all still hear me? Like that is really weird. Can you hear me? Is my picture froze for yous? Or is it just for me? What the F is going on? Let's do this. Let's deactivate and then activate again. There we go. So I imagine you could probably still hear me, but you just had a really unflattering picture of me frozen on the screen there, yeah? Um, yes, I was just saying I'm going to have to start saying to people, um, seeing if anybody wants to come on with me. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a round table reading, which is kind of my series that I do, where I do have someone on and we do a tarot reading together for the other person. Um, I'm happy to just kind of have someone on and have a wee chat. So if anyone fancies it, if anyone ever fancies coming on, then give me a shout. Um, let's see. Justin says, call my agent. Who's your agent, Justin? um, People are confirming they can hear me, but I'm frozen. Thank you, guys. Hopefully, yeah, Justin says back in action. It was something to do with my camera. Um, but because it was because I've got OBS open on one screen and StreamYard open on the other, because it was frozen in two screens, I was like, shit, what's going wrong here? Um, but anyway, Gerald says, I enjoy having someone to interact with instead of talking to myself. Yeah, do you know something, Gerald? It occurred to me you did a live, just a solo live. Was it maybe last week or something? I can't quite remember what the theme of it was, but it only occurred to me when I was watching you. Like Gerald is never live by himself. He always has someone on with him. Um, but yeah, it's I don't mind doing these every now and then, but it's nice to have a wee friend on sometimes. Anyway, I saw Zane from Tarot Token Witchery. Hey Zane, how you doing? Who else have we got? I've got Debbie from Aquarius Owl. I've got Diane from Woodrush Cottage. Um, I've got Joe from Behind the Veil. Hey Joe, how are you doing? I didn't mean that to sound like Joey Tribbiani. How you doing? But it kind of came out like that, didn't it? That was very much unintentional. I can look at the comments on this screen rather than you just having to see the side of my face, can't I? Right, where were we? Gerald says, shout. Throw my hands up and shout. That was, of course, what you were meaning. Sandra from the Whispering Well. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? Justin says his agent is his cat. Which one? Is that the one that's a wee pain in the backside that does drive Stephen round the bend, but naturally that's the one that you like because you're contrary like that? Would that be the cat? Hey, Kristen. Oh, I got Kristen's Oracle deck today. That's a total spoiler because that's one of the things I'm going to talk about is I like in the past few weeks I've gotten quite a lot of decks. So I thought it'd be cool to do a wee um haul, I suppose. Is that what the right phrase is? Just show you the decks that I've got. Um Throw my hands up and now I've got that stuck in my head. And it's all Gerald's fault, causing trouble. I just started watching your round table with lovely Simon at the Herman's Cave last night. It's fab, really enjoying watching so far. We'll finish watching tonight. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Orla. That was a really fun round table to do. All of them have been really great. Like, yeah, it's such good fun. Like, I've said this a million times. Like, I love reading for people. Like this. Just doing the right. Give me all your questions, and then I get to pull some cards. But equally, it's great to have that different dynamic, have that face-to-face dynamic where you're actually sitting and having a chat with someone and reading for them that way. Because that to me, that's a big part of doing a tarot reading for someone. But just my opinion, of course. I know there's lots of people that do like kind of a one-sided online readings, and that works for them, and that's great. But for me, I like to be able to kind of have a conversation. Um, so yeah, round table readings is fun. It was hashtag ask the stash. It was weird for me. Ah, okay. So question and answer type. Um, I thought you did really well. I really enjoyed it. Justin says I can't do solo lives at all. Terrifying. Oh, bullshit. I've seen you do solo lives before, Justin, and you do really well. So I think you're just getting in your head a bit. Someone says Joey. Joanne's laughing at Joey, but I can't see Joey unless I have skipped by him. No, I don't see him. Joey, if you're there, hi, but I can't see you. Yeah, Simon says, I was about to say hello to Joey then, and I was like, I don't see him. The swine has blocked me. He's blocked me too, apparently. No, I take it somebody, I don't know, did somebody call Joey or something? Oh, Joey Tribbiani. Oh, it was me that said it. It's going to be another one of those ones, isn't it? Where my brain's just like 5 minutes behind me, who's 5 minutes behind the chat. Fun, fun. Justin says, yeah, I love my bad girl. Yeah, that's what you always call her. I'm just having a quick look. Danielle, I think I might have highlighted your comment, but I don't think actually said hello to you. How rude of me. So, hi Danielle, it's lovely to see you. How you doing? Um, my chat keeps jumping. It's jumping even more often than normal. We've seen that comment, Chris. It was a shout because you said to give you a shout if you wanted to join you. So, oh, I see, but feel free to sing. I don't think we want me singing too much, Gerald. I've got a very limited vocal range, and I don't sound very nice when I sing. So really, not the kind of person you want to be singing for you, really. Um, it seems like a very long time ago now. The round table reading, I know it does, doesn't it? Um, it's occurring to me like it's coming up for like 2 years that I've been on TarotTube. Can you actually believe that? Like, I can't. I'm sure it's 2 years in August, which is only like 3 months away. So yeah, that's a bit weird. Kristen Louise, there was a good article about your cousin in CNN today about Pamela Coleman Smith. Kristen says, I couldn't do solo lives at all. I would be a deer stuck in headlights. I wouldn't know what to say. I've just had a genius idea, Kristen. Feel free to say no, that you would rather just, do your own stuff on your deck, but would you want to come on with me and we can do like I don't even know what you would call it, like just a bit of a discussion, like a joint walkthrough discussion type thing about your deck? I've done it with a couple of people. I don't know if you remember it. I did one with Jesse Driscoll that made the Crystal Skull Tarot. And I also did it with Malamir on the Chakra Healing Tarot. But if you would want to come on, because it means that we can kind of show it off to like, I mean, not that much more people to be fair, but just a different group of people would see your deck, and we can kind of like go through it and talk about like inspiration for different cards and stuff. Totally up to you. But yeah, let me know. Joseph Smith through marriage. But yeah, I read the article, very well written. Cast not your perils at swine. You and me both. Sing us a Scottish song. I won't sing you a Scottish song, but well, I know I've already kind of a post. What was that, a comment on Facebook that the song "Flower of Scotland"? That's such a nice song, so it is. Yeah, I love that song, especially like the third verse. Now I'm trying to remember what it is now. So, Flower of Scotland, for anyone that doesn't know, the flower of Scotland is the thistle. That's like the national flower of Scotland. But there's a story behind it where there's different versions. Some say it was the Norse army, and some say it was the English that were basically trying to sneak up on the Scots whilst they were sleeping. But the hill that the Scots were sleeping at, it was basically, there was lots of thistles, and thistles are jaggy wee flowers. They'll hurt you if you step on them. And the English or the Norse or whoever it was stepped on the thistles, made a big ruckus, woke up the Scots, and the Scots defended themselves. Um, so that's the bare bones of the story, and that's why the thistle is the national flower of Scotland, and Flower of Scotland is the song that we say. It's our kind of our anthem. So at like rugby games and football games and stuff, if Scotland are playing, they'll sing Flower of Scotland. But yeah, the third verse is, so it talks about all that. It's like, Flower of Scotland, when will we see your like again, that fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen, proud Edward's army and sent them homewards to think again. That's the main bit. But the third verse, we're getting there, is those days are past now, and in the past they shall remain, or they must remain, but we can still rise now and be the nation again that stood against him. It's just, I don't know, it gives me shivers, so it does. I think it's really cool. Anywho, Simon says, since you started your channel or since your first appearance? Since I started my channel at some point in August 2020. My first appearance was probably, because that was on Crossed Paths with Lucian and Dave. That was maybe in like May or something. So like we're coming up for 2 years since I started doing stuff on YouTube. So yeah, it's been a while. I'm almost part of the furniture now. Speaking of furniture, do you see I've kind of a change to see this kind of a shelf? That wasn't there before. So I've added that there. That was an old shelf that was sitting in a wardrobe somewhere. I thought, that'll do me quite nicely to put a bunch of tarot decks on there. So now that's full, and it's kind of let me free up space because these were like jam-packed full before. So it's let me free up space. So I've got indie decks, mass market decks. There are a couple of indie decks back there that I need to move, mind you. And these are my vintage decks. And then I've got stuff up top as well. Down here, we've got Oracle at the back, playing cards in the middle, and Lenormand at the front. Although I appreciate you can't see them because my big fat bahooka is in the way. And then that is just a mixture. Yeah, changing things about. There's my mouse there. Right, Kristen, in all fairness, I think everyone's related to Joseph Smith by marriage. You had about 10 wives. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's about coming on. Brilliant. Well, I would enjoy that, Kristen. So we should link in and any Thursday that suits you, really. That's not the last Thursday of the month, because that's when I do the Mariel study group. But apart from that, all my Thursdays are free. I've not got anything planned with anyone. Let's see. That would be awesome to see your deck on Chris's channel. It's pretty. I enjoyed it. I like the Scottish history. Hey, Diane. You've been here for a while. I don't think I saw you up there. Joan's here. Hey, Joan, how you doing? Sandra says, I want to get new shelving that has the cubes. Love Flower of Scotland backstory. A Fond Kiss is one of my most favourite songs. I have no Scottish heritage, but fell in love with this song many years ago. That's sweet. Got Brian's here. Hi, Brian. And Diane says about 10 minutes late. I'm actually glad that I managed to get to the end of the chat there because I was starting to get the fear that I was doing my usual and I was like 10 minutes behind. There was a couple of things that I wanted to mention. I want to shout out a channel. This is a channel that I've only found in the last few days, in the last week certainly. It's called, and I should have had it ready, and as usual, I'm shit, so I didn't. It's called Odin Learns Tarot. Odin is, in fact, that's him there. Can I just click on his name? Yeah, there we go. In fact, this is it here. He's only like 19, just turned 19. His birthday's the same as my niece's, the 2nd of May, I think, if I picked that up right. I'll put a link to him in the chat. Yeah, he's only just started kind of his channel not that long ago. He's only just started reading tarot, but his readings that he does are really good. And I've really enjoyed watching his channel. Just his videos. He's had like different people on. And yeah, what was I going to say? What else was I going to say about that? I think it's just nice to see, there's no ego in it, very much, he's a beginner and that his channel's called Aiden Learns Tarot. But very funny and witty as well. So I definitely recommend that you check his channel out, subscribe to him. Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to mention? I've started watching this series on Netflix. It's called One Day at a Time. Has anyone seen it? Has anyone watched it? It's so fucking good, by the way. So it's basically this Cuban family that are living in America. Brian, you've asked me a question. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start it so as I remember and come back to it. Yeah, it's this Cuban family that live in America. Now there's the two kids that are like teenagers. Their mum, their mammy, oh gosh, what's her name again? I forget. They call her Lupe or Lupita, but that's a nickname. And there's the abuela, the abuelita, like the grandmother. She's Lydia. Now the grandmother's maybe like in her 70s or something. She's like a Cuban Catholic woman. Um, the mum is so she's divorced from the kids' father. Um, and Elena, the daughter, she's kind of just discovering herself through the series. It's I found it because it was on the LGBTQ plus series, right? It's really, really funny. It does have a laugh track, right? So it's one of those comedies that has the kind of a laughing, you know. If that's going to annoy you, then maybe it's not the series for you, but because I know that it's not for everyone. But it's actually really, really good. Like it's really because they tackle issues like current issues. It's a very kind of a current series. So they're talking about things like racism, like sexuality, like gender identity, and all stuff like that. But you're seeing it from different points of view because they have the different generations and stuff. And it's just really, really cool the way that they all come together, the way that you can see the different points of view. So it's not like it's just showing you one side of the argument or anything like that. It's showing you everything, but you see the discussion and the way that everybody comes together in the end. It's just really wholesome and really sweet, and I think it's really clever the way that it's done. And they do it with comedy. Do you know what I mean? They do it in a way that's funny. There's a really good this is in the wee trailer thing for it on Netflix, so I don't feel as though I'm spoiling anything. But Elena starts seeing Sid. Now Sid is non-binary, pronouns they them, and it's relevant to mention that Sid is assigned female at birth. It's relevant because of the joke, right? So Elena is talking to her mum, and she's saying, "Oh, me and Sid are a couple now, but I need to think of, something that I can call them. I don't want to call them my girlfriend, obviously, but I want to come up with something that's special and, respectful of their gender identity." And the mum says, "Oh, well, I always like the phrase better half. Why don't you call Sid your better half?" And Elena says, "Oh, I don't like that. Like, it's as if I'm referring to them as only half a person. Like, I'm not doing that." And then she goes, "Oh, I could call them my better whole. What about that? Why don't I call you my better whole?" And she's obviously not quite thinking about what she's saying, but the mum just turns around and says, "Yeah, we're not saying that." But it really, it's it's what made me want to watch the show. Um, yeah. Anyway, one day at a time on Netflix. It's fantastic. Give it a watch. And it's one of those ones, watch one or two episodes and you'll either like it or you won't, and you'll know. You don't need to like stick with it or anything. It's very much easy watching. Uh, Justin says, apparently I am 30% Scottish and 35% Irish and Italian as well, yeah. Or Italian or Sicilian? Sicilian? Have I remembered that wrong, Justin? John says Aiden is awesome. Yeah, he is. He's really good. Uh, oh, yeah, this was the one that I starred, wasn't it? Yeah. So Brian says, I think you mentioned something about trying reversals a few weeks ago. Have you done that? How's it going? Yeah, I have. I've been reading with reversals. I've got certain decks that I've got reversals shuffled into them, and I've got certain decks that don't. So let's see. My kind of a run of the mill copy of the Rider pack. That's got like reversals all shuffled into it. And although I appreciate the way I'm showing you, it looks as though it's not. There you go. This one. You can see that that's got reversals shuffled in. And I've got a couple like that. Ravenous Dracon Tarot, that's got reversals shuffled into it, and some others as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's forcing me to really think though. Um, because you've got to. But for me, the way that I do it is I need to think about, right, what does it mean generally? What does that card embody right way up? And then I think, right, okay, reversing it, how am I going to do this? Is it going to be a blocked energy? Is it going to be the complete opposite? Like, how is this going to work? And I'm sure I'll get used to it as with practice, but I'm still at that stage where it's still very much an intellectual process. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm really, really enjoying it and it's great. And I've been experimenting with reading timing. Um, so in fact, I can show you. I can do a wee demonstration if you want. Oops. Yeah. So like, I'm. So obviously, timing's quite a. You know, I think it's always going to be really difficult to tell just with a pack of cards. When is that going to happen? But the way I'm kind of approaching it is saying, right, okay, well, take a topic, my career, for example. When might I experience energy shifts in my career, right? So let's kind of ask the cards that. When am I going to kind of let's look at my career and see, what's happening with regards to energy shifts. So I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing. I'll spread them out like that, and then they just get turned over one at a time. So right away we've got an upright card. So if you've got an upright card, that's talking about timing. Now the Five of Swords, that is the first deacon in Aquarius. So you're probably looking at late January. That's when I'm next going to see a shift in my career. Okay. If you get That's another upright card. Now I'm trying to demonstrate what I'm meaning. I'm only getting upright cards now. So see if I get reverse cards. Everything's coming up upright. That's so annoying. There we go. So reverse cards. Then you pull another card until you get an upright. Okay. So Three of Swords is like the second deacon in, I think it's Libra. Yeah, Libra. So second deacon in Libra, you're probably looking at some point in October. You know. Uh, but the reverse card is basically telling you what is going to have to happen first. So the Six of Coins, there's going to have to be some sort of balance that's going to happen before you're going to be able to experience this shift in your career. Okay, so there's going to have to be some sort of financial balance. So maybe in order to kind of progress your career, you're going to have to be really careful about your money first, or something like that. Anyway, that's generally what I'm doing with regards to timing. Um, so yeah, that was a really long-winded answer to your question there, Brian. Apologies for that, um, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting on good with it. Do, 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 do. So Simon said to Justin, "What's the other 35%?" Joe said 35% tarot, probably. Um, Gerald says, "I'm multitasking, so I keep missing everyone." Debbie says it's a remake of the 1970s series. Oh, there you go. I didn't even know that. But it is really good. Gerald's saying I used to watch the show back in the 70s. I enjoyed that. Debbie used to watch it every week. Simon's going to check it out. I'm terrible because I tend to mostly watch creepy stuff. Says Sandra. Do you mean like horror, spooky stuff? Um, I like the way that Joe Bunning explained reversals. I'll need to look that up. I don't think I've seen that. Diane says I'm balanced. My most recently watched are John Wayne Gacy tapes and Gilmore Girls. I got my my Rider-Waite Smith that I'm going to circle punch. If all goes as planned, I'll have 3 decks to mix up. Nice, Gerald. John Wayne Gacy tapes is on my list, says Sandra. Look at him go with the Deacons. Yeah, I'm so obviously it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the way that I do it anyway. And I know there's decks that do it differently than that. But it's just trying to remember which ones are which. But the cardinal is the 2, 3, 4. The fixed is the 5, 6, 7, and then the mutable sign is 8, 9, 10. And the way that I tend to remember it is Sandy is mutable. He's Gemini, mutable air. And I think he might be the 10 of swords. Or no, is he the 9? Can't remember. But anyway, um, I am fixed. I'm fixed water. I'm Scorpio. And I know that I'm the 5 of cups. And that only leaves the cardinal sign. So that's the way that I try and remember it, but it still takes some brain power. Now, what isn't easy to remember is the quartz, because the quartz, do you know what? I'll see if I can find, because I've made like a chart of it. In fact, I've made a chart of it on my actual PC. I know that, so this won't interest everyone. So I'm just going to quickly show you like the way that I read timing with the cards. The majors, I tend to read it. You know, you've got certain majors that correspond to the zodiac. You know, so you've got like the Aries is the Emperor and Taurus is the Hierophant, etc., all the way down to Pisces with the Moon. That leaves you with some cards like, you know, the Fool. You know, it could happen at any point. You know, the Tower's kind of are the same. It's going to kind of really hit you, come out of the blue. The High Priestess is basically like, you know, you don't get to know the timing on this. I'm trying to think what else. But you get my drift. It's Hanged Man. There's going to be some delay. That is going to happen, but there's going to be a delay, so it's not going to happen as quickly as you think it's going to happen. So that's the majors. And then the minors, the aces, I tend just not to try and read timing with them, but the rest of them, let me see if I can find. Actually, it's in my Microsoft Office. Sorry, bear with me, folks. I'm dilly-dallying, as my mum would say. It's not opening up Microsoft Office. That's a bit random. Let's see. What? Fuck it. I'll just get the handwritten version of it. This is going to be such an anticlimax, by the way. Right, here it is. So if I put it under the camera, hopefully you'll kind of be able to see it. It's not the easiest to see. Let me see. I can probably turn on the light. So these are actually color coded. So like the fire suits, the wands are in red, pence and green, etc. So you can kind of see the dates, you know. So the first deacon in Aries is the 21st of May, sorry, 21st of March to the 30th of March. Second, 31st to the 10th of April, etc., etc. You can see here what minor card, what pip card corresponds to that deacon. And then you've got like so each court card corresponds to 3 deacons. But like they're kind of it's as if it's been shifted one. So like your Knight of Pentacles, that's like the 3rd deacon in Aries, and then the first 2 in Taurus. Then your King of Swords is the last deacon in Taurus, and the first 2 in whatever comes after Taurus. Gemini, Gemini, and so on and so forth. So the courts, I'm still trying to get my head around, and I need to look at my cheat sheet for them. But other than that, we're getting on okay. The more you learn, eh? Right, let me turn this light back off because it makes me feel too warm. Anywho, let's see. That was okay. Oh, thank you. I've been wondering, I haven't tried reversals, not to mention timing. Thanks for the demo. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hello, Protect My Energy. How are you doing? Horror and spooky stuff, says Sandra. Do, 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 do. Sandra says, I do watch those shows. It's interesting to see how their mind works. Orla says to Sandra, you're braver than me. I watched a horror movie last Halloween and I didn't sleep for 3 nights. Oh, that's a wee shame. I know I do quite like my horror films. The Insidious films are probably some of my favourites. Um, Silence of the Lambs, the Hannibal Lecter films, although those aren't really horror, I suppose they're more psychological thriller, aren't they? But yeah, they're absolutely fantastic films. Almost forgot to hit the like button. Just remembered though. Thank you, John. Um, I've been watching horror and spooky stuff for years. Debbie says, "Buckle up, everyone. We're driving home. Are you taking us all home with you, Debbie? Uh, keep your head and arms inside the car at all times," says Gerald. Uh, I feel the older that I get, the less that I can handle jump scares. Yeah, I do not enjoy jump scares in the slightest. Absolutely hate them. Um, I'm weird. Like, I love a good horror film for the story, but see the jump scares, I can't handle them. Like, I close my eyes and hide behind cushions and everything. It does Sandy's nutting because I'll get on at him to watch a particular film, and then he says, he exaggerates obviously, but he says like you're spending half the film not even watching it, and I'm like, yeah, no, but I'm enjoying the story. I just don't want to get a fright. But yeah, that's kind of that's me. I can understand that. Sometimes it really catches you out. Um, right, what did I want to do? I wanted to show you some of the decks that I've gotten over the past few weeks because I've gotten quite a few. Um, so let me see. I did a walkthrough of this. This is the Dinosaur Marseille Tarot. This is absolutely fantastic, this deck. The card stock is phenomenal. It has this kind of I don't know if I would even call it linen. Does anyone have this deck, like, who knows more about cardstock than me? Um, it's really, really nice cardstock, and it holds up really well to riffle shuffling, which, is important to me. It's nice and thick. It's got a good thickness to it, and in comparison to, like, for example, this Smith weight that I've got sitting, like, see the difference between them? There, see how much thicker this is? Um, and it's just cool because it's got dinosaurs on it. So yeah, that's the Dinosaur de Marseille Tarot. What else have I gotten? The Odin's Playbook. This is another one that I did a walkthrough of. I did in fact, this was what I did for last Thursday. I did a premiere of my walkthrough of it. I'm loving this deck. This deck's absolutely fantastic. The cardstock feels dead papery, kind of in the way that like the new choice Tarot de Marseille feels quite papery, you know, decks like that. You know, it has that dead papery sound. It's got beautiful teal edging. And I love the artwork in it. Some of the cards in particular, you know, the way that the sky, there's one of my favourite cards, the star. Like absolutely stunning. I can hide my face, it might like focus better. But yeah, fantastic deck. I think it's Danielle Norman is the name of the creator. And she's done a great job. I got so this is not a blushing fool as much as I thought it was going to be. That's because I didn't do my research properly and I didn't realise that it had to say Waddington's on it for it to be a blushing fool. But with that said, that's okay. So it's a blue box, but it's the non-blushing fool blue box, which is fine. As far as I'm aware, there's no difference in the card stock, although I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I love the fact that it just doesn't have, it's not coated the same way that decks are nowadays. It's almost as though you feel as though you're closer to the artwork. It's like the difference between having a copy of a painting and having the original painting itself is what it feels like. Obviously, I realise these aren't Pixie's original, like that would be ridiculous, but it kind of feels that way, you know. Um, so yeah, that's really cool. The card stock is kind of a like almost waxy, I want to say. Um, it's nice card stock. It riffle shuffles really well. I know that there's maybe some people that are sitting like, oh, you riffle shuffled a blue box rider pack. Yeah, I did. You know what I'm like? I've got to riffle shuffle my decks. But this actually riffle shuffles really well. I'm going to do a wee demonstration. Um, so it's nice. The thing that it doesn't do is it's not like slidey like some decks. So see like fanning the cards out on the table, it's a bit of a pain in the backside. So it's quite difficult card stock to do that with. But then that's because I've got a wooden table. If I had like a cloth or something, it would probably be fine. So it's not a massive issue. But yeah, I'm enjoying having this deck. I'm enjoying working with it. I've pulled from it a couple of days this week for my cards of the day, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. What else did we get? So we got Kristen's deck. This is that's it there, the Star Rune Oracle, created by Kristen Louise Pantel. And basically you're getting 3 cards for each rune, with like a key phrase or keyword on the card and these beautiful images. So I'm not going to, I actually don't want to take them out of order because I'm not like, because I'm probably going to be having Kristen on now to have a look at them, Kristen? So I don't want to have them kind of out of order. But I did get confused initially because I thought there was 6 cards for this rune, and then I realised it's almost the same, but it's not. It's oh, hang on. How many did I? Wait, there are. Hang on. So EWAS, I'm going to call that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 for EWAS without the I, and then 1, 2, 3 for He was with the eye. So yeah, I think apart from that one, the one that looks like an M, we get 3 cards for each rune. Kristen can obviously correct me on that if I'm wrong. But the images are stunning. Oh, look at that! I never even noticed the 2 guys there. They're quite handsome guys too. But how beautiful is that card? And the keyword is connection. So nice. Ah, that's why there's different ones for that, because you get you get different. So you've got a gay male couple, a gay female couple, and a heterosexual couple for connection, and then you've obviously got fellow traveler and synergy as well. Anyway, all that is to say, this deck, this actually only came today. These are the backs. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting to know it, working with it, and having a good wee chat with Kristen about it. I'm conscious that I am rudely ignoring comments, so I'm going to quickly catch up on them before I move on. I am quite far behind in the comments. I didn't quite appreciate how far behind I was, so sorry I've been ignoring you for so long, guys. Let's see. Right, I remember that. Yep. I remember Jones saying about the like button, buckle up, we're driving on. I've scrolled way past. Kristen says, anyone watch Midnight Mass on Netflix? It's so unset. I actually really enjoyed Midnight Mass. I thought it was fantastic. Like really, really good. Um, it's a show that my gran probably would have enjoyed. There's been a couple of things that I've seen, since my gran passed away that I would have been like, oh, I wish I could have told her about this because she would have enjoyed it. But yeah, would you ever say to me, stop? If you loved me, you'd stop. Not in 1,000 years. Not in 1,000 years. That's my girl. That's from Hannibal, isn't it? Um, yeah. Do you know that the Hannibal book, ends very differently from the film, by the way? Just a wee tidbit of information there. I won't spoil it and tell you how the book ends if you don't know, but yeah, it ends very differently from the film. I watched Midnight Mass. I thought it was good. Kristen says it was a phenomenal story, a rare horror that I enjoyed, but it was depressing. I suppose it was a wee bit, wasn't it? But it was really well done, I thought. Brian, it really is. It is lasting power now. What did Brian say? I think I have the entire Golden Girls series memorized. Such a good show. Let's see. Sandra says, I like the look of the Odin's Playbook. Yeah, it's a fantastic deck, Sandra. I would really recommend it. And I mean, it's not like really, really expensive. It costs me under £50, which for an independent deck is actually okay. So yeah, I think I put like a link to where I got it in the chat. Um, Wait, what is this with the real edges? With the teal edges, that was the Odin's Playbook, Diane. Um, Odin's Playbook, a Norse or a tarot. Why am I holding it up like that? So that's the one there. Fantastic deck. I've done a walkthrough of it. It's only in my last couple of videos, so have a wee gander. And the creator is Danielle Norman herself. She's done a really good walkthrough of it where she explains stuff. Kristen says it's one of those decks where one card may keep me from buying it. What one's that? Is that the Odin's Playbook you're meaning? Sandra says it's still cool to have a blue box Rider-Waite Smith. Yeah, definitely. The feel of it is amazing. Jonathan's here. Hey, Jonathan. I just learned today that Jonathan has made a deck. It's called the Hawaiian Lenormand. If any of the mods want to pop a wee make playing cards link in for Kristen's deck and Jonathan's deck, then feel free. But yeah, I only just learned that today. Because Jonathan had kept it a big secret, hadn't you, Jonathan? Lovely Nancy's here. Great catching you live. Hello, everyone. Nancy, it is really lovely to see you. How are you doing? And Shauna's here as well. Hey, Shauna. What was the name of the deck that I came in on with the teal edges? So that was, I think you've probably seen the answer to that question already, but the Odin's Playbook by Danielle Norman. Yeah, I picked up on that when I was looking at them. So 3 connection cards. Sorry, excuse me, guys. I've got a bit of a throat thing going on. It's got nothing to do with me being ill before. This is a whole new. I'm like the General Grievous of illnesses. I've just got another one to add to my collection. Oops. Jonathan and Kristen's decks are in my NPC cart, says Diane. Let's see. Simon says Midnight Mass was awesome. Yeah, it really was. One of the best horrors that I've seen in years, but made me so mad, says Kristen. Sandra says, yeah, I understand, Chris. My dad would have loved Midnight Mass. Yeah, it's just it's a strange feeling, isn't it? When you see, I can't remember what else it was that I seen lately. I just thought, oh, that's the kind of. Do you know what? Sometimes it's just a joke. In fact, do you know what it was? It was a ridiculous like TikTok that would have wound my gran up, but it was like it was something in a church. It was some sort of thing in a church where they were raising something up. It was like a statue of maybe Jesus on the cross or something like that. God, I hope this isn't going to offend anyone, by the way. It certainly isn't meant to. The TikTok is probably a wee bit offensive, to be fair, and I'm now describing it, but it's like a part of a church service. They seem to be raising this thingy up of Jesus on the cross, and at the same time, it's like there's something rolls down on the altar, but someone's put Beyonce doing Crazy Right Now live over it. So it's like the thing rolls down and you've got Beyonce going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the thing starts rising up and you've got it doing the do 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 do. It made me laugh so much, and I was like, I really wish I could have shared that with my gran, because it's the kind of thing that she would have been like, oh, that's terrible, and then she would have laughed at it, you know. But it's wee things like that make me miss my gran the most. So it is things like that, and things like shows that I know that she would have liked, that I would love to have, shared with her. But anyway, I do know that the book ends differently, says Diane. Simon says, oops, spoiler. Simon, it's okay. Chris has said that on this channel before. Oh, have I? Oh, shit, sorry. the one time I'm grateful that speech to text didn't work. Chris, Jodie Foster would not take the role because of the book. She says her character wouldn't do that. Oh wow. I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that was why she didn't take the role. Let's see. So yeah, the devil card, she has the goddess Hel as the devil, which makes it feel like a Christian association of her. The goddess Hel, that's a Norse goddess though. Makes it feel like a Christian association of her. Was Hel not the goddess of the underworld? Or have they basically, is it one of those ones where like they've taken a particular goddess and then put it into the role of like the Christian devil in inverted commas. Thank you, Diane. You're a wee star. Actually, I did an unboxing on my channel, says Jonathan. Did you? I didn't even. How can Chris see our retracted messages? Because I'm on StreamYard. I've got the power. And then we've got Jonathan's as well. Kristen and Jonathan's deck links above. Thank you very much. Because they stay up in StreamYard, it's frustrating, yeah. Sorry, I don't know what message it was you retracted, but there was nothing that struck me as anything bad, so yeah, they don't go away. Kristen says, yes, goddess of the underworld, but the underworld isn't just for evil people. Even gods can go there. There is only one place in hell for punishment. Most people go to hell in Norse mythology. Okay, fair enough. So maybe that card's just not as well done. I still really love it though, I have to admit. Anyway, I've still got more decks to share with you because there's other stuff that's come. Now I just need to remember. Let's see, there's this one, which came today. Ugh, my skin's terrible right now. This is the Shamans Oracle. And it's based on like cave paintings and stuff. Let's see, let's move Kristen over there. I'm going to do this like that. The box is a bit shitey because like this, the last card gets stuck and I've got to kind of a fight with it to get it out. Ooh, that's annoying. Don't want to damage it. Yeah, I'd rather damage the box than damage the card, to be honest. So the way that this, I've only got this today, so I've not spent any great time understanding it. So you've got like the journeyer and the companion, and then the deck is split into, let's see, it's like 5 suits almost. So you've got the spirits, spirit of family, spirit of truth, etc., etc. You've got the ancestors, the ancestor of illusion, ancestor protection, and so on and so forth. You've then got the dancers, dancer of joy, dancer of friendship, of life. I'm trying to show you that there's also negative cards in here as well. Dancer of fear, inspiration, frustration. So that it is quite balanced. It's not just a kind of a rainbows and unicorns deck. There are kind of a good balance of positive and negative cards. The hunters, so dreams, abundance, gifts, paths, death, vision, conflict, etc. And then the last one is the shaman, tradition, birth, etc. And all of the images seem to be based on these, cave wall paintings. So yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of getting to know it. I think it'll be quite interesting to work with. It's definitely not the kind of the usual kind of a deck that I go for. But I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Patrick Valenza's new deck. I've actually pulled cards with it today, so I've got a couple of them sitting there. But the Trionfe de la Luna Illustrated Pips edition. This is really nice. Oh, I need to watch that. I don't. So there's a lot of extra cards that come with it. So I've got them separated out. That I don't think I'm going to do a walkthrough of this because I think there's lots of walkthroughs of it online already, and yeah, I like doing walkthroughs, but I like doing them when it's a deck that you don't see as much. I really like the what he's done. I like his illustrations of the pips. I think he's done a really good job. I've never been a fan of the old Solabusca Three of Swords, but I mean it does the job, you know. Hierophant, your Five of Swords, Three of Wands, so waiting for the plants to grow, kind of a thing. Your Four of Swords. It's really different and really in keeping with the Trionfe de la Luna and the Deviant Moon. Had to think there. Yeah, I think Patrick has done a fantastic job on this deck, and I'm really glad that it finally got here. So I think this came yesterday. So yeah, I think I've only got one more deck to share with you, and then I'll probably move on and do some readings. So if anyone's got a question for the cards, then pop it in the chat. In fact, maybe I'll leave Trionfe out and I can read with that. Whoops. Let me just put the banner on. Let me just catch up with the chat also. Kristen's got to go. Bye, everyone. See you later, Kristen. Remember, send me a message about when you want to come on with me. Debbie has made it home safe and sound. That's good. Glad to hear it. Simon says, I have this, but don't use it that much. Inspire me, Chris. I think I don't know about you, but the thing that inspires me is watching other people use the deck. So if I see someone using a deck in a way that's different, than how I would maybe have used it, or if I see it in that's how I get inspired. So yeah, maybe one day I'll do some readings with it on here. Sorry, I know I sound really croaky just now. I'm going to take a drink actually. Sandra used to have it but gave it away. Jonathan just got this deck. I'm thinking about adding a ribbon to the box to help with that obnoxious flaw. Oh, the shaman, the Shamans Oracle. Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually. That would sort it right out. You'd be able to get the cards out easy. Diane says a suit of dancers. This deck is great for ancestor reading, says Jonathan. I love the little text boxes at the bottom, like Pokemon cards. Dang it. says Diane. Well, do you know what, Diane? I think I got that for like £6.70 or something like that. So you're talking like under $10 for it. It's very inexpensive. So if you were going to treat yourself to a wee deck, then I don't think that that's going to break the bank or anything. Um, Sandra says, I'm waiting for my Patrick Valenza deck to arrive. Hopefully it'll be with you soon, Sandra. I can't remember when I ordered mine. It was maybe a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, right. The last deck that I want to share with you. Now, this was a deck that I first saw on the Barely Balanced group. In fact, I might need to. No, actually, no. I can reach it. I first saw this on the Barely Balanced group. It was I think it's Danielle Christmas that shared it on there, and I fell in love right away. So this is called the Inner Dimensions Tarot. And right away, I'm realizing I can't actually quite remember what the name of the creator is, but it's called the Inner Dimensions Tarot. It's on the extra card. No, the extra card just says, as I delve deeper within the layers of my soul, I become whole again. The cardstock is like linen. It's got a linen finish, so it's really nice. Um, I'll probably do a walkthrough of this. So again, I'm not going to go through all the cards, but I'll show you some of them. Let me kind of see if I can do something about the visibility. So they tend to have this they've got this kind of a black and white and yellow colouring to them. And the images are quite simplistic. So the full, you've got the magician, high priestess. How cool does that look? Empress as well. It's quite freaky. None of these people have got faces. Got our emperor, the hierophant. Let me skip through some strength cards. See, justice, again, quite simple but quite powerful. Instead of the hanged one, we've got the drowned man. We've got death, so we see this hand meeting with a skeleton. Temperance, the devil. That's interesting. We seem to have money, and is that an apple? But we have the kind of a chained up person. Let's see, we've got the sun. In fact, well, we have a look and see what the tower looks like actually. Oh, the tower's quite cool. So it's like a shattered mirror. I quite like that. The sun, judgment. Again, that's a mirror, isn't it? It's basically just reflecting back at yourself. The world. Rather than the aces, we have source, the source of fire. And then the pips are reasonably simplistic, but I mean, you've still got images there, and I think they're still pretty powerful. You can kind of see the fire building up. Then, for the fire's out of control. We've got a forest fire. The backs are really cool as well, actually, aren't they? The six, we have these wee fireflies, guiding the way. The seven to me looks like it should be an eight. For the eight, we have this eruption of a volcano. The nine, this tree's been blasted down, and then the 10, got all this lava pouring. And then for the quartz, we have the student, the practitioner, the visionary, and the master. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show for now. Because like I say, I'll probably do a walkthrough of this deck But yeah, I really like it. Something really, really appealing about it to me. And I'm looking forward to working with it. It almost kind of puts me in mind sort of the Marielle in a weird way. Um, yeah. Anyway, I think that's all the decks that I've gotten. Um, I think it is anyway. I might be forgetting one or two, but that's okay. Do you know what? My camera is really funny. Like, I wonder if I need to clean it. That's maybe what the problem is, actually. Let's see. Let's get my face back for a bit. Waiting for my Patrick Valenza deck to arrive. That's right, we had that. Has there not been any comments since then? Or am I just missing them? Are we just quiet tonight? We don't have any questions for the cards, so I'm going to use the Triumph illustrated pips to do readings if anyone wants one. If you don't, then that's okay. I will call it a night early. But yeah, I hope these have enjoyed my wee splurge. I certainly have. It's been nice, kind of a more or less each day I've had something arriving. So that's been quite cool. Right. If these aren't firing questions at me, then what I'll maybe do. Oh, I was going to clean that, wasn't I? I'm going to clean the phone. See if that's what's causing the zooming issues. I am roasting, toasting, boiling in here. Right, what I'll maybe do is just do a bit of a general reading for the collective. Something inspiring for us to send us on our weekend. What was that card that jumped round? That was the King of Cups. That tells me that this weekend we need to, or maybe it's me, maybe that was for me, but that tells me that we as a collective need to think about how, our emotional selves. Think about being a bit diplomatic and being emotionally mature, Don't react, or no, don't react sounds doesn't that's not what I want to say. That doesn't sound right. What do I mean? So we want to make sure that we're putting ourselves across how we want to put ourselves across, do you ever get that where sometimes you just, that you're in like an emotional type situation, and you know that how you initially react isn't really it's not how you really feel after like due consideration, and it's not the kind of a version of yourself that you want to put across. It's kind of just your initial reaction that you need to have. So for me, I'm very much like that. I'm a thinker. Usually I can't trust myself, especially if it's something negative that upsets me or affects me in a bad way. I can't trust myself to respond to it immediately. That's it. Responding versus reacting. So I know that I can't usually in that situation, I can't trust myself to respond immediately. I've got to basically just acknowledge, give myself some distance and some time, and then once I've thought through it, then I can come back and respond in a reasoned way. Um, that I think is what the King of Cups is asking of us. He's asking us not to kind of react initially. He's asking us to come away, have that kind of that sensible, logical approach, have a think about what's going on, and then come back and respond to whatever it is that's happening. Okay. So to me, that's what he's saying. He was just a jumper though, so let's actually. Yeah, I want to zoom out so we can actually fit some cards on the table, don't I? Let's actually pull some actual cards. So Knight of Coins, Ace of Wands, and the Two of Coins. Right, okay. So the Knight of Coins, we've kind of gotten into a bit of a. So the Knight of Coins, slow and steady wins the race. You know, it's like the tortoise versus the hare. The Knight of Coins likes to think about everything. You know, they like to have that sensible, grounded approach to everything that they're doing. You know, I guess the problem that we can sometimes have is if we're not challenging ourselves, if we're not being, you know, if we're not coming up against like those situations that challenge us, then we can become complacent and we can almost become like this, where it's like, you know, it's almost like you're not really appreciating the work that you're having to put in anymore. Do you know that way when if you're exercising, they say that you should always be upping what you're doing because your body gets used to doing it. So if you just do like 5 minutes on the treadmill every single time, there comes a point where you're not going to be getting any benefit out of that anymore because your body's just gotten used to it, you know. So you constantly need to be challenging yourself and upping your game, you know, or else we end up kind of getting into this space where we're just, it's almost like you're bored, you're turned off, and you're not really appreciating what's going on. However, we do have that work. We do seem to be coming up against this kind of a high energy situation. We've got the Ace of Wands bringing that kind of a new inspiration, that spark, that fire into the situation. The Ace of Wands is basically the dragon that's going to turn around and breathe fire right on that knight's butt. You know, he's going to light that fire under his butt that's really going to make him move, and he's going to find himself in a place where he's trying to do a million things at once. Look at him, he's trying to kind of balance these coins on his hand, on his feet. He's got something else going on in his other hand. You know, you can kind of see it reflected in this ship's journey where it's kind of a fighting against the, you know, the waves. Um, it's almost like you've gone from just being totally used to what you're doing to wow, how am I going to cope with all of this stuff that I'm going to do? And I think that's where where we're being asked to kind of just have that reasoned approach, have that sensible approach. Don't necessarily react. Come away and think about it and respond. Okay, so don't just get kind of blown away by everything that's hitting you. You know, all of this kind of fire energy. Um, we have to be kind of we have to look at the problem, we have to look at what's happening to us, and you know, we have to make an action plan and then come at it sensibly, is basically what I'm trying to say in a really convoluted and roundabout way. uh Shauna says, Chris, are you back to doing Marielle this month? Yes, I am indeed. So I believe that we will be doing, so the Sunday the 22nd is, I think, when we'll be doing the Zoom, Shauna, and I'll be doing the YouTube the following Thursday, the 26th, because I think the following Thursday will be into June. So yeah, I think that's the last Thursday and the Sunday before it. So yeah, we will be doing Marielle. Okay, Diane, how can I best prepare for my meeting on Monday? Let's have a wee look and see. So how can Diane best prepare for a meeting that she has on Monday? Diane, this card is stalking you. In the past day, we've spoken a number of times, and this card has come up for you. This is the third time now that I can think of, and that's just that you've told me about that I know about. Um, and that's your outcome card, by the way. So that to me looks quite positive. Um, I think in terms of what you're doing just now, that does seem to be, you're preparing. You're in your eight of coins. You're mastering. You're preparing things. You're getting together like you're doing your due diligence, getting the paperwork together. Looking into things and doing what you need to do. Just doing the actual graft. Doing the work to get yourself prepared. I suppose if this wee guy could pop out of the card and tell you something, he would probably say, to fail to prepare is to prepare to fail. That old mantra. Um, the Queen of Wands, I think, is telling you, um, you know, approach this with confidence. Have some confidence in you when you come to the meeting. Um, don't be scared to show that kind of a warm and charismatic side of yourself. Um, because that I think will help you. It'll help you prepare, but it'll help you in the meeting as well. And yeah, you've got the Empress as your outcome card. So that to me is, that's looking quite positive. We're looking at, like abundance and all of that lovely kind of a stuff coming out as the outcome. So yeah, just make sure that you're kind of just doing everything, all of the kind of stuff you would normally expect to be doing, that you're getting all the paperwork together, that you're prepared for the meeting. If you know that you need to get together this bundle of stuff, make sure you get it together, you know. Um, but if it whatever the meeting's going to entail. Sometimes that can be talking about practicing, practice makes perfect. Is there something that you can be practicing, or at least that you can be thinking about, right, okay, well, this is the script, this is the kind of how the conversation's going to go. So almost just like, I know that I'm going to be asked these questions, so I'll just kind of prepare an answer and still still have it, put it across in such a way where it feels organic and you're answering it. um, you're being authentic and genuine in your answers. But just I recently did the job interview, right? I know that that's it's a different situation, and I think just having that level of preparation behind me gave me a certain amount of confidence, even though the questions that they were asking me were of a completely different ilk than what I was preparing for. Because I felt prepared going into it, I had a kind of a confidence about me that I felt made my interview, my meeting go well. Um, and it's that confidence that the Queen of Wands embodies and talks about. Um, so that's what I would say, Diane. That's how you can best prepare. Prepare by preparing almost. But have some confidence about you. Don't be scared to show a wee bit of fire. Oh, well, I'm glad that you feel great about it. Okay, what else have we got? So you said this is perfect, all the ducks in a row. Confidence in taking action, not just sitting by and waiting. You're so welcome. Where are we for time? We're on 26 minutes past 10. So does anyone else want me to do a reading for them? Or are we finishing up there for the day? I'm more than happy to leave it there if we've reached a natural stopping point. Um, but yeah, it's been nice to see everyone. Apologies that I wasn't able to go live last week. The kids that I tutor all had their exams. As far as I'm aware, they all did really well. I think the exams were quite challenging, quite difficult, but I think they did well. They did themselves proud. But yeah, so that was why I didn't get to go live last weekend, last Thursday. You're very welcome, Shauna. Okay, guys. I'll love yous and leave yous. Take care, everyone. And I shall see you all later. Bye.